In the neon-lit streets and quiet alleyways of modern Japan, where the line between urban myth and terrifying reality blurs, there's a legend whispered among children, Kuchisake Onna, the slit-mouthed woman. Her story is a chilling reminder that vanity, once twisted by rage, can create a ghost that feeds on fear. Centuries ago, she was the most beautiful woman in her village, wife to a proud samurai. But her vanity was a disease. She craved endless praise, tormenting anyone less beautiful. One day, in a fit of jealous fury over her rumored infidelity, her husband took his sword and carved a grotesque, permanent smile across her face. From ear to ear, as she bled out, her spirit was consumed by an unholy thirst for revenge. Now she wanders, always at night, near schools, parks, or any lonely path where children might walk home alone. At first, she looks ordinary, often wearing a surgical mask or scarf, a common sight in Japan. Her approach is quiet, unnervingly calm. She picks her victim, usually a child, and poses a simple question. Am I beautiful? Imagine standing there, your heart pounding, trying to think. If you say no, she becomes enraged, slashing at you with a pair of rusty scissors or a glinting knife she conceals. A quick, brutal end. But if you try to appease her, if you say yes, that's when the true horror begins. With a slow, deliberate movement, she removes her mask. The gruesome ear-to-ear slit reveals itself, a permanent, terrifying grin. And then she asks again, her voice a chilling whisper, "How about now?" There is no escape, no correct answer. If you say no this time, she will attack, slicing your face to mirror her own disfigurement. If you say yes, she will still attack, ensuring you share her eternal pain. The urban legend offers only desperate, fleeting tricks. Confuse her, ask a question back, or utter specific Japanese words that might buy you a few precious seconds to run. But most who meet her don't. The slit-mouth woman is a predator of the lost, a phantom born of brutal vanity and vengeance. She reminds every child walking home in the twilight that beauty can be a lie, and some questions are designed not for answers, but for terror. And once she asks, your nightmare has just begun. In the dust-choked villages and sun-baked fields of India and Pakistan, where ancient beliefs run deep, tales are whispered of the churl. She is not merely a ghost, she is the vengeful spirit of a woman who died tragically during childbirth or suffered an unbearable, cruel death at the hands of men. Her story is a chilling lesson in karma, a terrifying warning against the mistreatment of women. The churl appears as an impossibly beautiful woman, captivating and alluring. Her skin glows, her long, dark hair is immaculate, and her traditional attire is exquisite. She can appear in any place a lonely man might wander, a secluded path, a moonlit grove, or even waiting by a well at dusk. She draws men in with her charm, her grace, promising companionship, or perhaps something more forbidden. But this ethereal beauty hides a horrific secret, a twisted mark of her curse. The moment she turns, or if you ever catch a glimpse below the hem of her sari, you will see it. Her feet are turned backward, with the heels facing forward and the toes pointing away from her body. This grotesque inversion is her undeniable sign, a chilling tell that reveals her true undead nature. The churl preys specifically on young, unattached men, especially those known for disrespecting or harming women in their lives. She leads them into the wilderness, far from any help, charming them with her beauty until they are completely under her spell. Then, when she has them isolated and helpless, her true form begins to reveal itself. Her beautiful face might contort into a monstrous snarl, her eyes burning with ancient fury, as she drains their life force. Some legends say she drinks their blood. Others claim she simply saps their youth and vitality, leaving them as desiccated husks. A farmer from Rajasthan once recounted how his cousin, a known philanderer, met a beautiful stranger on a moonless night. He was enchanted, followed her deep into the desert. He said he saw her feet turn as she walked, but convinced himself it was a trick of the light. The next morning, his cousin was found, aged decades, utterly incoherent, his vitality gone. He could only babble about the woman with backward feet. The Shirelle is the embodiment of righteous feminine wrath, a haunting reminder that the debts of cruelty, especially against the vulnerable, will always be collected. Her backward footprint serves as a permanent, chilling warning to all who cross her path. Deep within the misty bamboo forests and by the secluded waterfalls of ancient Japan, where nature holds both breathtaking beauty and terrifying secrets, whispers tell of the Jorogumo. Not merely a spider, but a cunning yokai, a spirit creature that weaves webs not just of silk but of deceit and allure. Her story is a chilling allegory for temptation and the deadly beauty that can hide pure evil. The Jorogumo begins as a monstrous spider, often as large as a man, with keen intelligence and a hunger for human flesh. But her true danger lies in her ability to shapeshift. She can transform into an exquisitely beautiful woman, radiant and charming, often appearing in places where lonely men might wander. A quiet tea house, a remote forest path, or by a serene waterfall. She lures her victims with a gentle smile, a captivating voice, and a seeming innocence. A lost traveler might stumble upon her, seeking refuge, and be enchanted by her grace. She offers comfort, hospitality, perhaps even romance. But all the while she is weaving her true web around them, a spiritual bond of silk that entraps their very soul. Her beauty is a carefully constructed trap, designed to disarm and mesmerize. Once a man is completely ensnared, emotionally and physically, and has put his trust entirely in her, the Jorogumo reveals her true, horrific nature. The beautiful facade melts away, exposing the giant, grotesque spider body hidden beneath. Her human skin might shed, revealing her 8 hairy legs, multiple eyes, and venomous fangs. She then binds her helpless victim in thick, sticky silk, saving them for a slow, agonizing meal. Some say she prefers to drain them of their life force over days, savoring their fear. A legend from a remote village spoke of a young lumberjack who fell deeply in love with a mysterious woman he met by a waterfall. His friends warned him, but he was smitten. One day they found him wrapped in a massive, shimmering web high in the trees, his body shriveled, a giant spider scurrying away into the shadows. The spider's veil is a powerful tale of deceit, a warning against succumbing to superficial beauty. It reminds us that appearances can be fatally misleading, and in the ancient woods, some enchantments are not for love, but for a feast. And once you're caught in her web, there's no escape. In the vast, desolate stretches of the American Southwest, across the sacred lands of the Navajo people, there exists a fear far more insidious than any monster. It is the skinwalker. Not a creature born of nature, but a human being, a witch, who has twisted ancient knowledge and dark rituals to commit the ultimate betrayal, becoming something truly evil. This is a tale of corrupt power, ultimate loss of humanity, and chilling malice. A skinwalker is a person who has chosen the path of dark magic. To gain their power, the ability to shapeshift into any animal, most commonly a coyote, wolf, or raven, they must commit the gravest sin, murdering a close family member. This act shatters their soul, turning them into a malevolent being forever cursed to exist between human and beast. They are driven by envy, hatred, and a desire to cause harm. They hunt at night, moving with unnatural speed and stealth, their forms shifting in the shadows. You might see a wolf standing unnervingly still, its eyes following you with too much intelligence, or hear a raven cawing your name from a moonless sky. Skinwalkers are known for their ability to mimic voices, to lure victims into the darkness, to spread illness, or even to whisper thoughts of despair and madness into your mind. They represent the ultimate violation of natural order and spiritual balance. A story from the reservation elders tells of a young Navajo woman who ventured out alone one night, seeking a lost sheep. Her family warned her, saying the wind carried a strange scent. As she tracked the sheep's prints, they suddenly changed, becoming larger, more predatory. She felt a presence behind her, heavy and silent. She turned, and in the faint moonlight saw not a sheep, but a towering shadow. It was vaguely human, but its head was elongated, and its eyes glowed with a feral red light. It began to run towards her, not like an animal, but with a terrifying, purposeful stride. She ran for her life, stumbling, tripping. She heard a guttural growl, then a familiar voice pleading coming from behind her, trying to make her stop. She didn't. She knew it was a trick. She made it back to her hogan, barely, collapsing in terror. The next day, the tracks of a massive wolf led right up to her door. The skinwalker's betrayal is not just about a monster. It's about the darkness that can consume the human heart. It is a terrifying reminder that some evils walk among us disguised in familiar forms, waiting to strike from the shadows they once called home. Their power is born of the ultimate sacrifice, and their malice knows no bounds. The thing about desperation is, it changes you. It peels away layers of humanity until all that's left is a raw, consuming hunger. And in the deep, frozen wilderness of North America, the Algonquian elders warn, that's how the Wendigo is born. It's not just a monster that hunts in the snow. It's a terrifying echo of what happens when a person crosses the line no one should. My grandfather, a hunter from the far north, told me about a winter so brutal. The snow fell for weeks, burying everything. Food ran out. The animals vanished. An isolated family, trapped deep in the territory, tried desperately to hold on. But when the father returned to camp after days of fruitless hunting, his eyes were different, sunken, burning with a light that wasn't human. He stared at his wife and children not with love, but with a terrifying primal need. The transformation starts subtle, an insatiable craving that no ordinary food can satisfy. Then the body stretches, growing gaunt, bones pressing against skin as pale as ice. The person grows unnaturally tall and thin. Their lips blacken, crack, and pull back, and an endless, unholy appetite for human flesh consumes everything else. My grandfather heard the chilling whispers from the few survivors of that winter. The way the father moved, impossibly fast, leaving massive, unnatural footprints in the deep snow. There was the lingering smell of death and decay, even before anyone was found. One night, a trapping party lost deep in a whiteout blizzard heard it. Their names called out in the clear, familiar voice of a long-lost friend, drifting through the howling wind. It was the mimicry, the trap, luring them deeper into the swirling white oblivion where no one would ever find them. They knew it wasn't their friend. They ran. They didn't look back. The elders say the Wendigo is the physical manifestation of lost humanity. It embodies what happens when greed and selfishness eclipse the soul. It reminds us that some hungers, once awakened, can never be satisfied, and some choices, once made, can never be undone. Even now, when the winter winds scream through the trees, people stay close to home, because the forest remembers, and something out there is always hungry, waiting for the moment your own desperation takes hold. In the eerie, windswept marshes and lonely country lanes of eastern England, especially in the ancient region of East Anglia, farmers and travelers have long whispered about the Black Shuck. He is no ordinary dog. He is a spectral beast, a terrifying harbinger of death, and his appearance is a chilling sign that your time, or the time of someone dear to you, is drawing to a close. The Black Shuck is a monstrous phantom hound, larger than any dog you've ever seen, with shaggy jet-black fur that seems to absorb all light. But his most striking and terrifying feature are his eyes, two immense glowing orbs of fire, often described as burning red or even green, that pierce through the deepest darkness. He moves silently, sometimes appearing suddenly out of the mist or darkness, sometimes leaving an unnerving trail of massive paw prints. He is often seen stalking lonely paths, crossing churchyards at midnight, or even bursting into homes and churches, causing panic and dread. The legend states that to see the Black Shuck, especially to look directly into his fiery eyes, is a direct omen of impending death. Some say it's your own death, others claim it's the death of a close family member. Either way, His appearance guarantees tragedy. A chilling account from the summer of 1577 describes the Black Shuck bursting into two churches, Blytheburg and Bungay, during severe thunderstorms. Parishioners reported seeing the enormous black dog, eyes blazing, running through the congregations, killing 2 people, and causing paralysis or scorch marks on others. The doors of the church were warped and scarred, bearing the indelible marks of his fiery claws. This event cemented the legend of Black Shuck as a real and terrifying force. My great-uncle, a pragmatic man who scoffed at old tales, once drove through a particularly dense fog near an old churchyard. He swore, years later, that for a split second he saw 2 enormous, burning red eyes materialize out of the mist, fixed on his car. He swerved, his heart nearly stopping. Days later, his younger brother, who lived in a neighboring village, passed away unexpectedly. He never spoke of it again without a tremor in his voice. The Black Hound's eyes are a primal fear, a haunting reminder of our mortality and the thin veil between our world and the supernatural. When those fiery eyes appear, staring back from the darkness, you know your fate is sealed. In the emerald green fields and ancient mist-shrouded ruins of Ireland, where the veil between worlds is thin, the most chilling harbinger of doom is the Banshee. She is not a creature of malice, but a spirit tied to specific ancient families, and her appearance is a terrifying, undeniable signal that a loved one's final moments are at hand. Her tale is a profound and mournful encounter with impending death. The Banshee manifests in many forms. Sometimes she is a beautiful woman with long, flowing red or silver hair, dressed in a shimmering gray cloak or a grave shroud. Other times, she appears as a horrifying hag with tangled hair, her eyes blazing with sorrow. But no matter her form, her presence is always announced by her signature sound, a piercing, keening wail that freezes the blood in your veins and pierces the darkest night. It's a sound of profound grief, but also a call that marks an ending. Her cry is not a warning you can act upon to prevent death. Instead, it is an acknowledgement, a primal lament that confirms death's unstoppable approach for a member of the family she is bound to. The sound is said to travel for miles, reaching the ears of all those connected by blood, alerting them to the tragedy before it even unfolds. Some legends say she combs her hair with a silver comb. If you find it, do not touch it, or you may be swept away into her ghostly world. A story from my great-grandfather, from a village in County Cork, spoke of a night when his young daughter fell gravely ill. As the family huddled around her, praying, a sound began to drift through the open window. It started as a faint, mournful hum, then swelled into an unearthly shriek that seemed to tear through the very fabric of the night. It wasn't human. It was full of unbearable sorrow. Every dog in the village began to howl. My great-grandfather knew what it was. He rushed to his daughter's side, holding her close, knowing there was nothing more he could do. By morning, she was gone. The Banshee's wail had been her farewell. The Banshee's wail is a haunting, inevitable sign that life is fragile and ends are unavoidable. She is a reminder that some destinies are sealed, and some truths are too painful to bear. When her mournful cry pierces the silence, you know that somewhere, a soul is taking its last breath.